In the pre-Qin period, an era of 100 schools of thought contending and ideological upheaval, Mohism and legalism were like two bright stars, each shining with its unique luster. Although both belonged to the pragmatist schools, they diverged greatly in many concepts, engaging in a fierce ideological clash and jointly sketching a colorful ideological picture for future generations. Meanwhile, in the distant West, the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle put forward far-reaching rule of law propositions, which formed an interesting contrast with the Mohist and legalist thoughts in the East. The founder of Mohism was Mozi, named Di, from the state of Lu. He lived in the spring and autumn and warring states periods, a time of social unrest and frequent wars. Witnessing the sufferings of the common people at the bottom, he put forward a series of ideological propositions aimed at maintaining peace and caring for the masses. Mozi advocated universal love, that is, loving all people without discrimination, opposing the hierarchical love with distinctions between kin and non-kin emphasized by Confucianism. He believed that only when everyone could practice universal love could society eliminate disputes and wars. Closely related to universal love was the idea of non-aggression. Mozi firmly opposed aggressive wars, believing that wars would only bring endless pain and disasters to the people. To prevent wars, Mozi and his disciples not only traveled around to lobby but also actively studied defensive tactics and city defense weapons, putting the concept of non-aggression into practice with practical actions. In terms of the economy, Mozi advocated thrift in use, thrift in funerals, and anti-music. He advocated that people should be thrifty and oppose extravagance. Whether it was the use of daily necessities or the handling of funerary ceremonies, luxury should be abandoned and simplicity should be returned to. At the same time, he opposed the cumbersome ritual music system advocated by Confucianism, believing that the large-scale consumption of manpower, material resources, and time in ritual music activities was not conducive to the development of the country and the improvement of people's lives. The main representative figures of legalism were Xiong and Han Fei. Xiong implemented reforms in the state of Qin. Through a series of reform measures, such as abolishing the well-field system, rewarding farming and weaving, and implementing the county magistrate system, the state of Qin gradually became powerful. He emphasized governing the country by law, believing that law was the foundation of governing the country, and advocated that the law does not favor the noble. Whether it was the nobility or the common people, once they violated the law, they should be subject to corresponding sanctions. Xiong's reform practice laid a solid foundation for the rise of the state of Qin and also provided a practical basis for the development of legalist thought in the state of Qin. Han Fei was the master of legalist thought. He integrated Xiong's law, Shun Bohai's tactics, and Shun Dao's power to construct a complete legalist theoretical system. Han Fei believed that human nature was originally evil, and people often resorted to any means to pursue their own interests. Therefore, strict laws and strong power must be relied on to restrain and manage the people. He advocated that the monarch should hold absolute power, use tactics to control the ministers, and achieve the stability and strength of the country through the means of clear rewards and punishments. Han Fei's thoughts had a profound impact on the political systems of later feudal dynasties. Almost at the same time, Aristotle in the West put forward that the rule of law should contain two meanings, that the established laws are universally obeyed, and that the laws which are obeyed should themselves be well-made laws. Aristotle emphasized the universality and fairness of the law, believing that the law should be the embodiment of reason and was formulated to achieve the common good. He advocated that the rule of law was superior to the rule of one person because the law was not affected by personal emotions and prejudices and could judge affairs more fairly. Compared with Aristotle's rule of law proposition, although legalism also emphasized the authority and universality of the law in legalism was more of a tool for the autocratic rule of the monarch. Legalism believed that the monarch had absolute legislative and judicial power, and the purpose of the law was to maintain the ruling order of the monarch, not to guarantee the rights of citizens. However, Aristotle's rule of law thought paid more attention to the equality and freedom of citizens, emphasizing that the law was a means to protect citizens' rights. The differences between Mohist thought and Aristotle's thought are even more significant. Mohist thoughts of universal love and non-aggression focused on moral advocacy, hoping to achieve social harmony through people's moral consciousness. Aristotle, on the other hand, started from the perspectives of politics and law, exploring how to guarantee social fairness and justice through institutional design. Mohist propositions such as thrift in use, thrift in funerals, and anti-music were mainly aimed at reducing the burden on the people and improving people's livelihoods. While in Aristotle's ideological system, although people's livelihood issues were also concerned, more emphasis was placed on the overall interests of the city, state and the moral perfection of citizens. This contention between Mohism and legalism was not only a collision of two thoughts but also a clash of different governing concepts and social ideals. They each showed their prowess on the ideological stage of the pre-Qin period, leaving precious ideological wealth for future generations. At the same time, the comparison with Aristotle's rule of law proposition also allows us to see the unique development paths of Eastern and Western thoughts under different cultural backgrounds. By understanding the similarities and differences of these thoughts, we can gain a deeper understanding of the ideological culture of the pre-Qin period, draw on the wisdom of the ancients, and better understand the current society and life.